Tesla just reached a point with Optimus where the story is no longer only about the robot itself. Gen 3 is important, but the bigger question is what Tesla is building around it. The company is preparing a new AI-5 chip, expanding its training infrastructure, bringing Grok into the robot's intelligence layer, and using the same full self-driving philosophy that already powers its cars. At the same time, Tesla is turning part of Fremont into an Optimus production line, planning a much larger robot factory at Giga Texas, and redesigning the robot's hands for real-world tasks. The Gen 3 reveal may have been delayed, but that delay tells us something important. Tesla is not treating Optimus like a simple demo anymore. It is treating this robot like a product that could change the company's future. But the first big clue about that bet did not come from Optimus walking on stage. It came from a chip. In late April 2026, Elon Musk posted a photo of Tesla's new AI-5 chip on X and said it had taped out. That basically means the design is finished, locked, and ready to move toward manufacturing. This matters because AI-5 is not being built as just another chip for Tesla cars. It is being built for the next phase of Tesla's autonomy and robotics plan. Musk says one AI-5 chip offers roughly 5 times the useful compute of 2 AI-4 chips, with a single chip reaching Hopper-class performance and a dual-chip setup reaching Blackwell-class territory. In simple words, Tesla wants Optimus to have enough power to see, react, speak, balance, and make decisions instantly, without waiting for cloud servers. The chip will be sourced from both TSMC Arizona and Samsung Texas, with high-volume production planned for mid-2027. So, the real question is simple. Why does Optimus need this much power? Because the world of a humanoid robot is much more unpredictable than the world of a car. A car has a difficult job, but it mostly deals with roads, lanes, traffic lights, vehicles, pedestrians, and clear movement patterns. Optimus has to deal with the messy physical world we live in every day. Imagine it picking up a glass from a kitchen counter. It has to understand the shape of the glass, how fragile it is, how much pressure its fingers should apply, and what happens if someone suddenly moves nearby. If it carries a box inside a factory, it has to balance the weight, adjust its grip, avoid people, turn corners, and keep walking without dropping anything. Even a simple task like handing food to someone at a car window becomes complicated when people move, objects shift, and the robot has to respond instantly. That is why AI-5 matters. Optimus cannot wait for a cloud server every time it needs to think. The intelligence has to be inside the robot itself, fast enough to make physical decisions in real time. And once Tesla realized that, the next step became clear. It did not just want to design the chip. It wanted control over how that chip gets built. Would you feel comfortable giving voice commands to a humanoid robot and letting it act instantly without waiting for the cloud? Tell me below. That is where Terafab comes in, and the scale of this plan is almost hard to believe. SpaceX has filed for an initial $55 billion investment in a Texas chip complex called Terafab, with total investment potentially rising toward $119 billion. This is not just a SpaceX project either. It connects directly to Tesla, SpaceX, and xAI because all 3 companies need massive amounts of compute. The plan includes 2 major facilities, one focused on chips for Tesla cars and Optimus, and another focused on AI data center silicon. The long-term target is roughly 1 terawatt of annual compute, which would be an enormous jump in chip production capacity. Musk has argued that existing suppliers cannot meet the future needs of his companies at scale. That is why the Intel deal matters. In April 2026, Intel joined Terafab as the foundry partner using its next-generation 14A process, making Tesla one of Intel's first major external 14A customers. For Tesla, this is about securing its robot future. For Intel, it is a major chance to prove its foundry business can compete again. And Tesla's 2026 capital spending has already moved past $20 billion, largely because Optimus and chip infrastructure are becoming part of the same bet. But owning the chip only solves part of the problem. Tesla also needs the intelligence that will actually run on top of it. That is where the Optimus brain starts to get interesting. The first layer is full self-driving, which gives the robot its vision foundation and movement instincts. Tesla is using the same camera-first philosophy it built for cars, without relying on LiDAR. The second layer is Grok from xAI, which is meant to handle language, reasoning, voice commands, and real conversation. Then comes the bigger robotics layer, a vision-language action model that connects what the robot sees, what a person asks, and what the robot physically does next. This is why the leadership shift matters so much. In June 2025, Ashok Elaswamy, the key architect behind Tesla's FSD system, took over Optimus. That means Tesla is not treating cars and robots as 2 separate AI projects anymore. It is trying to build one shared intelligent system that can move from roads into the physical world. The goal is not to manually program Optimus for every single task. The goal is to tell it something like, fold this shirt, or sort these parts by size, and have the robot understand the instruction, read the environment, and act without needing a custom script every time. But a brain like that does not become useful just because the software exists. It needs training, data, and a massive amount of compute behind it. Running the model inside Optimus is one challenge, but teaching that model how to behave in the real world is another challenge entirely. Tesla's answer is Cortex 2.0, and Phase 1 reportedly went live in April 2026 at around 250 megawatts. That puts it in the same conversation as some of the biggest AI training systems being built by companies like Google, Microsoft, and Meta. Tesla is also developing Dojo 3 alongside AI 5, which shows how closely the chip roadmap and the robotics roadmap are now connected. The important part is the feedback loop. Around 300 Optimus units are already collecting data from places like Fremont and Giga Texas. Every failed grasp, every awkward step, every wrong movement, and every successful task becomes training material. One robot learns from its own mistakes, and over time, the whole fleet can improve from those lessons. This is the same basic flywheel that made Tesla's self-driving system better with real-world driving data. Now Tesla wants to use that same idea for robots. All of that training, all of that compute, and all of that chip work is leading to one product, Optimus Gen 3. And in March, Tesla almost showed it to the world, but then pulled back. On March 31st, the final day of Q1, Elon Musk posted on X that Optimus 3 was already mobile and walking around, but still needed finishing touches. That timing mattered because Tesla had originally pointed to a Gen 3 reveal in that quarter. But Gen 3 itself has still not been properly shown to the public, and that is the important detail. Tesla is keeping the robot hidden because this version is not just another quick demo unit. On the Q1 earnings call, Musk gave a clear reason for being cautious. He said countries like China study Tesla releases frame by frame and copy whatever they can. So this time, Tesla is not treating Gen 3 like a normal stage reveal. It is treating it more like a serious product launch, where every visible detail matters before the robot is officially unveiled. And that is why Gen 3 has to be judged less like a demo robot and more like a production machine. The important question is not just whether it can walk on stage, but whether the whole body can stay controlled while it is doing useful work for hours. The expected 50 actuators are about that control. The shoulders, elbows, wrists, hips, knees, and hands all have to move smoothly together without making the robot look stiff, weak, or unsafe. The 8 autopilot-style cameras are there to give Optimus awareness of people, equipment, moving carts, and tight spaces around it. The 2.3 kilowatt-hour battery and 6 to 8 hour runtime decide whether it can last through a meaningful work period instead of stopping after a short demo. The 44-pound, 20-kilogram payload and 6 to 7 miles per hour, 9.7 to 11.3 kilometers per hour walking speed suggests Tesla wants it to move at a practical human work pace. And Grok voice support fits as the instruction layer, so a worker can tell the robot what needs to be done instead of programming every action manually. Put together, these details show Tesla is trying to turn Gen 3 into a repeatable product, especially if the price really lands around $20,000 to $30,000 per unit. Do you think Tesla is smart for hiding Optimus Gen 3 from countries like China, or should Elon reveal it already? Comment your thoughts. But for Optimus to become useful outside a stage, the most important part may not be the legs or even the walking speed. It may be the hands. Musk has said the hand is about 60% of the entire engineering challenge because a humanoid robot is only valuable if it can actually handle the world around it. Walking across a room is impressive, but real work means picking up tools, holding small objects, opening doors, sorting parts, carrying food, and touching fragile items without crushing them. That is why Tesla's hand patents matter so much. Filed around the same time as the We Robot event in October 2024, they describe a tendon-driven design where the heavier actuators are moved into the forearm, keeping the hand lighter and more human-like. Thin control cables run through the wrist and into the fingers, while a special routing system is designed to reduce friction and stop the cables from interfering with each other. Each hand is expected to have 22 degrees of freedom, compared with roughly 27 in a human hand. Tesla engineers have described the goal as something close to a human form factor, almost like a human in a superhero suit. Goldman Sachs analyst Mark Delaney also noted after a private Tesla meeting in March 2026 that Tesla is using a mix of rotary and linear actuators built in-house to protect its intellectual property. The training method is also important. Humans demonstrate tasks through motion capture, Optimus learns the movement, and then reinforcement learning helps polish the skill until it becomes more reliable. Patents and prototypes are exciting, but the real test is whether Tesla can build Optimus again and again at factory scale. That is why the Fremont move is such a big deal. Tesla is clearing space by ending Model S and Model X production in early May, after more than 610,000 of those vehicles were built over more than a decade. The Model S ran for 14 years, the Model X ran for 11 years, and both became important parts of Tesla's history. But sales had dropped to around 30,000 units a year, far below the line's 100,000 unit capacity. So Tesla is tearing out the old line and rebuilding that space for Optimus. Parts equipment comes out first, final assembly follows, and then new robot tooling, wiring, and testing systems go in. The first Optimus units are expected to roll off the Fremont line in late July or August 2026, with the pilot line designed for up to 1 million robots per year. But Musk also admitted the ramp is hard to predict because Optimus has over 10,000 unique parts, and the slowest part on the line can hold back everything. So Tesla is not just making room for a robot, it is replacing one era of Tesla with the next one. And Fremont is only the beginning. The bigger plan is already moving toward Giga Texas, where site preparation is underway for a second-generation Optimus production line. That facility is expected to support Gen 4 hardware and could begin production around summer 2027. The long-term number Tesla is aiming for is almost hard to process: 10 million robots per year. If Tesla ever reaches that level, Optimus would become bigger than a normal product line. It would be closer to an entirely new industrial platform. That is why Musk keeps framing Optimus as the biggest product Tesla may ever build. Fremont is the first step. Giga Texas is where the scale story really begins. But Tesla's Optimus story is not only being shaped in the United States. One of the most interesting signals came from Tesla AI's official Chinese account on Weibo in March 2026, when it teased Optimus as about to be unveiled and showed images focused on the robot's new dexterous hands. That tease is important because it does not mean Gen 3 has been fully revealed, but it does show where Tesla may be placing some of its attention. The hands looked more human-like than earlier versions, with more natural finger length, joint placement, and overall proportions. For a humanoid robot, that detail matters because the hand is what turns walking hardware into useful labor. And then there is the bigger China angle. Giga Shanghai is already being discussed as a possible third Optimus production site, and China could give Tesla access to supply chains, manufacturing speed, and robotics talent that are difficult to ignore. If Tesla really wants Optimus to scale globally, China may become more than just a market. It could become one of the main production and development tracks behind the robot. What shocked you more? Tesla targeting 1 million robots per year at Fremont, or 10 million robots per year at Giga Texas? Comment below. But factories are only one side of the story. Tesla tested how people react to Optimus in a normal public setting. When the Tesla diner opened in July 2025 in Hollywood, a Gen 2 Optimus scooped popcorn and handed it to guests, quickly earning the nickname Poptimus. By December 2025, that robot had quietly disappeared, but the test still proved people were willing to interact with Optimus outside a lab. Now Musk wants the robot back in 2026 as a food runner at supercharger stalls. That would be a harder test involving cars, people, trays, tight paths, and real-time movement. Before Tesla sells Optimus to the outside world, it has to prove the robot can work inside its own factories first. That is the cleanest test bed: repeatable tasks, controlled safety rules, and direct feedback every time the robot fails. The early work may be simple, like moving parts, sorting components, or supporting assembly, but it has to be reliable for hours. Musk already admitted that 0 Optimus units were doing useful work on the Q4 2025 call, so 2026 is the real checkpoint. If Tesla clears that bar, late 2027 external sales and the $20,000 to $30,000 price target become a much more serious business story. But Tesla is not racing alone, and this is where the story gets uncomfortable. While Elon Musk is still holding back Optimus Gen 3 and arguing that countries like China could copy Tesla's designs frame by frame, Figure AI is doing the opposite. It is showing more, shipping more, and trying to prove momentum in public. Figure's Bot Q factory has already delivered more than 350 Figure 03 robots, and the company says it increased production from 1 robot per day to 1 robot per hour in under 120 days. That does not put Figure anywhere near Tesla's million-unit dream, but it does show that Figure has crossed an important line from prototype to repeatable production. Then came the Helix 02 bedroom demo, where 2 Figure 03 robots reset a room in under 2 minutes, handling tasks like opening doors, putting away items, and working together to make a bed. That is the contrast right now. Figure is showing robots doing messy home tasks with Helix 02, while Tesla is still asking the world to wait for Gen 3. Tesla's edge is still vertical integration, FSD data, custom silicon, and a price target few companies can match. But Tesla's risk is also clear. If other companies keep showing useful robots while Tesla keeps hiding its best version, the pressure on Optimus only gets bigger. And this is why Musk keeps pushing the story beyond normal robotics. For Tesla, Optimus is not just supposed to be a factory helper or a household robot. Musk has framed it as a step toward AGI in physical form. On March 4, 2026, he posted that Tesla could be first to AGI in atom-shaping form, meaning intelligence that does not just answer questions on a screen, but actually moves through the world and changes physical things. That idea connects back to the entire Optimus stack. AI-5 for on-device compute, FSD for vision and movement, Grok for reasoning and language, the vision-language action model for physical tasks, and fleet learning from every robot in the field. Tesla is not saying Gen 3 is AGI today. The claim is that this architecture could become the path toward it. But that also raises the stakes. If Tesla wants Optimus to be the future of embodied intelligence, then Gen 3 cannot just be a delayed reveal. It has to prove the whole stack works in the real world. Does Figure's BotQ production update make Tesla's million robot dream look more believable or more pressured? Share your opinion. So this is where the Optimus Gen 3 story really stands. Tesla is not just delaying a robot reveal. It is trying to connect the chip, the AI brain, the factory, the supply chain, and the long-term vision of physical intelligence into one product. That is why Gen 3 matters so much. But the real test is still ahead. Tesla has to prove that Optimus can move beyond promises, beyond controlled demos, and beyond future timelines into real useful work. And whether this video ends here or moves into the next robot story, one thing is clear: the humanoid robot race is no longer about who has the best demo. It is about who can actually build, deploy, and scale.